Today is November 5th, 2025. What is today's date?
It is Wednesday, November 5th, 2025.
Google never lies. And that means that there is exactly 1 month until the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. There was one animatronic in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie trailer that really caught my eye, and that was Mangle. So that means in this video, I'll be making a life-size Mangle animatronic. Every material that I'll be using is gonna be cheap and affordable, and what that means is everything is gonna be made from scratch. I'm only giving myself 1 month to make it, and it's just gonna be me, myself, and I making it. The first part of Mangle that I need to make is the endoskeleton structure. I'm looking at a picture of Mangle and I don't know what I'm looking at. But what I do know is I'm gonna be making the structure out of some PVC piping. I bought about 20 rods of 3/4 inch thick PVC piping. I also bought a lot of different angled joints. And to make sure the endoskeleton structure is stable, I have some wooden boards that are gonna be the feet. I plan on just simply drilling a hole into the wood and then sticking a PVC piping rod into it, gluing it into place, and then adding some spray foam over it. All right, welcome to day 1, or in Five Nights at Freddy's terms, night 1. What I've gone and done is put the wooden boards on the floor, which are gonna be the feet, and I went ahead and spaced them out how far I want them, and I think it's pretty good distance. But now I gotta take this drill and drill a hole into each of the boards so I can stick the PVC piping rod inside of them. Let's go do that. So I got a hole cut out at the angle that I want, and it's just wide enough so I can fit in the PVC piping. To make sure it's secured into place, I am gonna glue it. And once I have rods into each of the feet, I am gonna add some spray foam to it just to glue it a little bit more and so I can carve it to look like the feet. The right leg, the left leg, and the back leg are all done. Now I'm gonna put these back into its original positions on the ground. Then I'm gonna play around with these joints and see how I want the legs to be positioned. This is the best angle I can get, sorry. Now these two legs here, the left and the back leg, are actually connected to the same joint on Mangle's body. So the back leg is gonna get a 90-degree joint, while the left front leg is gonna get this non-90-degree joint. I think it's 120 degrees. That's because of how the PVC pipe rods are angled. Somehow these two joints make them perfectly match up, so it works. And then the right leg is gonna get a 120-degree joint. I just got done putting the joints on, but before I did that, I went and cut off 7 inches on each PVC pipe. That way they're all 16 inches long. 16 inches gives me a pretty good scale for this project. So for the other part of the legs that are gonna be connecting to the joints, I need to cut down these 3 PVC pipes so that they are the same length as the other ones. So I need them to be 16 inches long. So the structure for the legs is pretty much done, but one thing I need to go back and do is cut the middle PVC pipe in half. That is because I need to go and add this joint. This joint will allow me to add the tail that goes in the back, as well as acting as the connector to build the body up. I was able to get the PVC piping rod on, and I made sure to glue it so it is drying right now. Another thing I need to add to the legs are these thick rings. There's 3 per leg, and there's a total of 4 legs. I'm adding the 4th one later because that's the one that has the hand, and you guys are gonna see what I'm gonna do with that later. But for the rings, I had an idea. I'm gonna cut up a pool noodle into 1.5 inch segments and put 3 of them on each leg. I already went ahead and marked 12 of them, so all I have to do is cut them out. I've got all 12 of the foam noodle segments cut out, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put them on the legs. I also found this in my shop. It's kind of like a pool noodle. I think it's like an insulator thing. I decided not to use it for a previous project, but it came in handy now. What I did is I put it on the top portions of the legs and divided it into 3 sections. The top and the bottom are 2 inches and the middle is, I don't know, however long that is, with a little bit of gap in between. Now that that is all done, it's getting a little late, so the last thing I want to do before I go to bed is to put some spray foam on the feet. That way it secures the PVC piping better, and so I can eventually carve it into a foot shape. The spray foam is on all the feet. Now it's past 10 o'clock at night. I think I'll call it a day. I got quite a bit done, so I'd say we're on pretty good pace. All right, today is day 2. My goal for today is to get all the PVC piping put together, make it look more like the endoskeleton of Mangle, and give it a nice paint job. Pretty straightforward. Enough of me yapping, let's get to it. So this rod that's sticking up right here is gonna be the rib cage with the hand sticking up. So to make the actual ribs poke out, I need to cut this rod into multiple sections, and in between those, I need to put this 4-headed joint. I went ahead and used this all-purpose cement and adhered all of the PVC piping together. So the next couple appendages on Mangle's body are the weird wireframe arm that's on the right side, the neck that obviously holds up the head, and then the other neck that holds the endoskeleton head. I also went ahead really quick and just put the PVC piping together. That's gonna be for the other hand. That was just super simple. But first, I'm gonna work on the right arm. So the right arm has 4 segments, and it is about half the length of each of the legs. So each segment is gonna be 8 inches long. So I'm gonna need to cut 4 8-inch segments from this PVC pipe. I got all 4 of them cut out. To connect them and make them angled, I'm gonna use 2 90-degree angle joints and 1 120-degree angle joint. The arm is in place and looking pretty snazzy. Next, I'll do the neck for the endoskeleton head. That one is super simple. It's just 2 8-inch long PVC pipings connected with a 90-degree angle, and that's it. The very last part for the PVC pipe structure is actually going to be Mangle's neck. Just like the other neck, it's going to be composed of 8-inch long PVC pipes, but instead of 2, I'm going to use 3. And then for the joint adapters, I'm going to use 2 90-degree angles. I'm going to go slap this on there and position it in different angles, see how I want it to be positioned. I'm thinking this is a pretty good angle for the neck. That way the head is far away enough from the hand that's gonna be right here. And hopefully the weight distribution will be okay. I'm gonna go glue this thing down and hopefully it's ready for some paint. Good morning, everyone. It is day 3, and this is where we're at right now. I've got the entire body covered in Plasti Dip, which means it is all ready for me to put some spray paint on there. I've got some metallic spray paint. Let's give it a good coating. The endoskeleton is all painted and looking pretty shiny, but while that's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the feet. I just finished carving both of the front feet and gave them both a layer of some wood putty. That way it fills in all the gaps and holes in the foam. Both front feet took me a long time to do, and I still have to do the back one. Let's get to it.
Fastest boy.
That took a while, but all 3 feet are carved and covered in wood putty. I have to let them dry for a while before I can sand and put spray paint on it. So in the meantime, I'm gonna dab on some black paint to the endoskeleton like this to dirty it up a little bit. While I was in the middle of painting, something really cool for this project came in the mail. And that would be these robotic hand kits. I found this super cheap robotic hand kit on Amazon. So it has this little motor in it that moves the sprocket around that allows the fingers to wiggle. So I bought 2 of them because Mangle has 2 hands and thought it'd be really cool if Mangle's hands were wiggling. All right, here's the first hand in all its glory. It is looking very beautiful. And luckily it is lightweight, so it should hold up on the body pretty well. I of course have to add some cosmetic changes to make it look like Mangle's hand, but let's give it a little test. It's got a beat to it. I'm gonna go ahead and make the second one, and once that one is made, we can start making the cosmetic changes to it. It looks a little rough right now, but after it's done drying, it's gonna look really smooth. It is late, so I think I'm gonna call it a day. We got a lot done today. We're making good progress. All right, hello. Oh, what? You guys beat me here. Well, good morning, it is day 4, and it looks like the feet are done drying, which means I can go ahead and give it a good sanding. So it is now nighttime. I procrastinated a lot today, but there's not really much more I can do until I get specific pieces in the mail. But because it's been a while, that means the primer is all dry and I can put on some spray paint on the feet. So the feet still look a little janky still, but I went ahead and spray painted the 2 endoskeleton feet the metallic gray because I figured Mangle probably has damaged endoskeleton feet anyways, and I could probably make that work. But for the foot that's actually intact, there's not really much damage to it, so I want to make that a little bit more smooth. And to do that, I'm going to use the same foam clay that I used for the hands. Oh, and speaking of the hands, both hands are actually done. Last night, I actually went and added a PVC pipe cap to it and encased it in that same foam. And the foam dried over it, so now it is intact. So in theory, I should just be able to place it onto the PVC pipes and it should be held into place. One hand will go onto this PVC pipe here, and the other one goes on this one right here. All right, now let's test them out and see if they work. Now that the hands are completely done and working, I'm gonna go ahead and add that same foam to the foot. I just got done putting the foam clay onto the feet. There's not really much more to do tonight, so I'm gonna go to bed and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night. Whoa. What time is it? It's the very next morning. The foot is looking pretty good. I was hoping I could get away with just having the foam and not having to spray paint it white, but because of how thin it is, you can still see some of that wood putty underneath. So I'm gonna add some Plasti Dip to it and some spray paint as well, and then give it some nail polish. So Mangle's feet are completely done. I was able to paint on the toenails, as well as wither the feet up a little bit like I did for the rest of the endoskeleton. But while I was doing that, something came in the mail. And it's in this box right here. In this box I got an Arduino, is that how you pronounce it? Starter kit, a bunch of servos, and this Arduino Robotic arm kit. All this stuff here is hopefully gonna make the head move. I have never worked with servos or coded an Arduino board before, so this is gonna be tough. Before I even touch any of this stuff, I need to first make the head, and the head needs to be as lightweight as possible. So I'm gonna see if I can use some spray foam to sculpt it. So I found this bucket that is around the same size as Mangle's head. So I'm gonna cover this in saran wrap and then add a couple layers of spray foam to it. And that should hopefully give me a hollow head that I can carve. I ran out of saran wrap, so I had to improvise with some tinfoil, which actually ended up working because I can sculpt out some of the features of Mangle. Good morning. It is now day 6, I believe. The foam on the head should be completely dry, so let's go take a look. Oh yeah, this is looking really good. Look how absolutely magnificent this is looking. Now, of course, there are still holes. It's not completely smooth. So to fill all those holes up, make sure this whole head is smooth, I'm gonna add a thin layer of foam clay to it. Mangle's head is now completely covered in the foam clay. Now all I have to do now is just let it dry. So I'm at the point now in the project where I can make the eyes. So I've been trying to play around with the Arduino and the servos, but the kit I bought it from only sent me male to female DuPont wires. I need male to male DuPont wires for this project. So now I have to buy them on Amazon and wait a couple days for them to come. This set me back a few days. There's still a lot more that needs to be done, one of which is to add the wireframe that goes around the arm and both necks. What I ended up doing was adding some armature wire to each segment and looping it around the joints. And each segment has 4 rings around it, so now I have to go add 4 rings to each segment. So that's gonna equate to 36 rings I have to make.
Still fast as boy.
I've got all the metal rings onto the body and it is looking actually really, really good. It's got this barbed wire effect to it and I think it makes it look really, really creepy. It is past 10 o'clock at night, so I'm gonna go to bed and see you guys for day 7. Good morning, everyone. It is day 7 and I have really good news. And the good news means that I'm an idiot because it just so happens that the kit does come with another set of jumper wires that are male to male. It was just labeled differently. I guess I just wasn't thinking to try it out, but I just ran a test on the servo with it and it does work. Look at that, it's doing a sweeping motion. This is awesome. This is perfect though. That means I can get the eyes done today. For the eyes, I used a 3.5-inch plastic ornament. I printed out a picture of Mangle's eye. I then cut it out and glued it on the inside of the ornament. Once that was set, I went ahead and spray painted the inside of the ornament white. And on the other ornament, I spray painted the whole thing black. Once that's done, you'll end up with these 2 guys right here. For the eyelids, I used a mystery surprise ball capsule, split them in half and spray painted them pink. And once those are done, you'll get something like this. Now that I have all the parts for the eyeball done, it's time to add the electronical components to it. I'm at the part of the project that I have been dreading the most and scared of the most because I have no experience whatsoever in any of this stuff. Don't make fun of me in the comments if I do anything stupid. Actually, you can. I deserve it. So my plan is to have a servo motor connect to each eyeball on the bottom, and then I have one servo for the eyelids. I'm gonna try to plug everything in and see if it works. All right, all 3 servos are connected to the breadboard and the Arduino. I also had to move some things around because I forgot the battery pack needs to go into the breadboard. So now if I plug the battery in, hopefully the servos will move. We got one move, okay. So I gotta figure out why the other 2 won't move. Guys, I think I actually did it. I moved the positive end over here instead of being right next to it. Instead of having the battery connected to the breadboard, I actually connected an extra cord running from the positive end to the 5-volt part on the Arduino board. Now these 2 servos are gonna be the eyes, and this servo is gonna be the eyelid. Let me just connect it to the ground, and look at that. They move at the exact same time, at the exact same angle. All I have to do is connect these to the eyes. And then here's the eyelid. As you can see, it randomly moves up and down. And this code right here is all for just 3 servos. Now let's go attach them to the eyes. I screwed both the eyes onto the servo motors, and then I went ahead and just cut off a piece of XPS board and glued them onto it. But now, the moment of truth, will it work? Oh my gosh, it works. That's insane. I did it. I can't believe I did it. This project is going really well. I'm in shock right now. Good morning is day 8 of this project. After I finished making the animatronic eyes, I went ahead and made the eyelids. And how I did that was just took some armature wire and hot glued it inside of the domes. Just bent it on half of the side. So now both of them are connected to one rod, and I should be able to connect the end of the armature wire to this servo here, which is gonna make the eyes blink. But before I put any of the eye stuff into the head, I need to go ahead and spray paint it. Y'all, it is 17 degrees outside. I have to spray paint it. Wish me luck. While I was waiting for the paint to dry on Mangle's head, I went ahead and started working on the claw that's gonna control the head movements, and I had spent the last 4.5 hours, not joking, trying to get this thing to work, and it would not. The servos they sent did not work at all. I substituted them with the servos I had. Those did not work. The Arduino board does work. I did test that out. I'm not sure what the problem is. So I'm scrapping this idea. What I'm focusing on instead is Mangle's jaw. I want Mangle's jaw to be strong. We all know about the bite of 87. Mangle's got a pretty tough jaw. So I'm gonna use the robotic claw that I used for my Yarnaby project, and I'm gonna connect that to an Arduino board and make it so that Mangle's jaw will open and close randomly. I have a code written out that should make this claw close and open. So when I plug the claw into the Arduino board, it should do it. There you go. Look at that. That looks awesome. Now we have to make a jaw to put this on. But first, let's put the eyes in the head. I've got the eyes inside the head, and I actually went and used some spray foam to make sure it was secured to the head. It's gonna take a little bit for that to dry, and it's already like 9 o'clock at night. I spent majority of the day trying to work on that stupid robotic arm that ended up not working, so that was a waste. Tomorrow, I plan on completely finishing the head. That includes the jaw and the ears and all the teeth. Hopefully, I can get it done tomorrow. I'm gonna get ready for bed, and I'll see you guys on day 9. Good morning, and welcome to day 9, I believe it is. The foam had enough time to dry overnight to secure the eyes into place, so let's go ahead and check to see if it all works. I can't believe that the eyes and the eyelids actually work. I have never worked with servos before, and you can probably tell because they look really janky and it makes a weird noise. But you know what? Mangle does that anyways, right? Now that the base of the head is all done, the last part of the head that I still need to do is make both the ears, the jaw, attach the jaw mechanism, and give it a nice paint job. Let's get to it. Before I do any painting, I need to wait for everything to dry. The wood putty on the ears need to dry. The spray foam on the jaw will take about 6 or 7 hours to be fully cured. And I even added some wood putty to some foam domes. That way I can paint them red for the cheeks. I went ahead and cut out some pieces of EVA foam for the endoskeleton head. All I have to do is just glue it together with some contact cement and give it a good paint job. The paint on the endoskeleton head is dry and it looks really good. I also went ahead and made the endoskeleton's eye. It was the same exact process to make Mangle's eye. I added a foam beam to it so that when I glue it onto the head, it sticks out a little bit. I went ahead and cut out 24 teeth. I just used EVA foam and I cut them into a trapezoid-like shape. Now it's time to assemble them all together. Good morning, everyone. It is now I lost count. Day 10, I think it's day 10. And look what I just finished making. I just finished making the endo head and it looks really, really good. Now all I have to do is just put it onto the body. The spray foam on the jaw is completely done drying, and miraculously, it is already carved. It's time to cover it in some wood putty so I can fill in all the holes. I also went ahead and made a bunch of teeth out of some foam backer rod dowels. So I'm just gonna stick these on there while I add the wood putty to it. And then once that's dry, we can spray paint it. So I've got some very, very unfortunate news. The jaw is just way too heavy for the motor mechanism to support. I tried to dig out all the foam so I can make it as light as possible, and that still doesn't work. But I think I came up with a really good idea to still make the jaw. Templates. So I cut the pattern into 4 different sections and I went ahead and flattened them out. I actually went ahead and just flattened out half of them because the jaw is supposed to be symmetrical, so the pattern should work for both. Let's see if I can transfer this onto some EVA foam. I just finished the jaw and it's actually looking pretty good. Tomorrow it should be all dry and we can test out if it can support the jaw. It is currently 1:35 a.m. and I am tired, so I'm gonna go to bed. So I'll see you guys on day 11, which is technically today, but see you guys later on day 11. Oh, good morning. I am feeling all refreshed and the jaw is actually looking pretty good. But I still have to test it out before I do any painting to it, so I'm gonna go attach it to the head to see if it actually moves. All right, so the head is just kind of sitting on top of the claw. It's not adhered in any way, so I have to be kind of careful with it, but it is the moment of truth to see if the jaw does work. It does work. Okay, it will work. It will work. If it's connected, it will work for sure. Oh, yep, that works. Okay. I went ahead and added a couple layers of Plasti Dip to the jaw. It's completely dry, but it's still secure before I can actually spray paint it. I also went ahead and made a bunch of teeth to put on the very top of the mouth. I'm just gonna hand paint them white so I can actually put these on the mouth right now. As you can tell, I added a little bit more detail to the head. I added the pink orbits around the eyes, as well as the red lipstick on top. That really added a lot of detail to the face. But let's go add those teeth. The teeth are glued and secured onto Mangle and are pokey. Now for what's left of the project, I'm basically just waiting for all of it to dry. So I won't be able to touch any of it until tomorrow, where then I can spray paint it and then assemble it. So tomorrow should be the final day. I'm gonna go to bed and I'll see you guys on day 12. Good morning, it's day 12, hopefully the last day of this project. The plasti dip on the jaw is done drying, so now it's ready for some spray paint. I went ahead and cut out a bunch of teeth as well as 2 panels for the endoskeleton jaw. So while the main jaw is drying, I can go ahead and make the endoskeleton jaw. Before I adhere the head to the claw, let me see if the claw mechanism works when it's attached to the body. All right, it's connected, now I have to turn it on. Let's see if it works. Oh, we got movement. Oh! Nice, it does work. The claw actually works. Oh, that is gonna look really good. The spray foam on the jaw hinge is done drying, so it is now adhered to Mangle's head. I also went ahead and gave her some lipstick really quick. Now it's time to test out if the jaw can work. Plugged in, and we turn it on. It works. It actually works. It is not too bad. Yes! I went ahead and glued on the endoskeleton jaw inside the mouth, and now that that's on there, Mangle is completely done. Oh, there is one more thing I need to add. The bow tie. Now, Mangle is complete. I'm actually genuinely shocked how well this turned out. Obviously this project has a lot of imperfections, but so does Mangle. That's the whole point, you know? This is by far the biggest project I've ever done, by far the hardest project I've ever done. So it'd really help if you guys show this video some love. I would really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you want me to make next. Anything you want to add, Mangle? You do that. Peace.